of you are getting ready to break generational curses. An example of a generational curse is a divorce, where your parents grew up in homes with divorced parents, so they both lacked a clear picture of what a healthy relationship looks like. With this negative example of your parents, it developed an unhealthy relationship and habits that have been passed on to you. But now it is up to you to break this cycle. Hey guys, welcome to the channel. I'm the Sagmoondiva. For those of you all that are new, for those of you that are returning, welcome back. Thank you guys so much for all the likes, the comments, the shares, as well as the donations, and keeping your girl booked and busy with the personal readings. I'm excited to get into you all's reading. This is your second one. If you haven't already, please check out your other reading. I believe it is titled, Someone Doesn't Want You to Get This Message. Now let's see what this one has to say. In your past life, some of you all could have worked in transportation. Some of you could have been a conductor at a train station. Others of you, this transportation has to do with moving away from a belief system that you've known. Again, going back to this generational curse information. For some reason, I just keep hearing that in my head, and I decided to go ahead and pull out the cards and get into your reading. There are some lessons that are needing to be learned at this time that's going to bring you blessings. It's taken a long time to get to this point in your life, but now it is time for you to seek the truth. Again, some of you all are dealing with authority figures. You shaped your life around the way in which you grew up. Again, for some of you all, this has to do with divorced parents that married, that didn't really understand the concept of marriage, and they passed down that information to you. And now it's time, Virgos, for you all to break the cycle. Dear God, I ask that you give me the most clear and precise messages that need to come through. What are the most important messages that are needing to come through at this time, please, for the sign of Virgo? Give me the most important messages for the sign of Virgo, please. Give me everything they need to know at this time. Bottom of the deck, you have the dragon. You're going to gain a lot of strength and wisdom at this time that is going to help you along in your journey. You have the heirloom. It says true feelings are masked. Some of you all have been wearing a mask for a very long time. Some of you wow. Trying to find a easy way to communicate this. Some of you all have been hiding behind a mask for a long time. Some of you have been taken advantage of. Sexually, physically, people around you will be shocked to know this, that you have been hiding this for so long. For some of you all, this generational curse comes from parents that have been abused. They may have abused you, or because they have been abused and were silenced, they silenced you. You were told not to tell anybody. Nobody's going to believe you. We don't want to get your uncle in trouble. We don't want to get your dad in trouble. So we just want you to keep quiet. Follow your intuition. Some of you all have been wanting to open up your throat chakra and communicate this. Some of you all have been holding this in for years. The fact that authority figures around you have taken advantage of you for so long, to the point where you haven't been able to communicate. This is why this transportation card is here for some of you all. You try to move away from your problem. The further I get away from my family, the further I get away from my abuser, the further I get away from myself, then I won't have to deal with myself. Because looking in that mirror is the hardest thing that you've ever had to do. So you mask your feelings. It's been a lot of darkness, a lot of sadness that's been covered up. There's been a lot of lies that have been covered. This is moon energy. Some of you all could have a moon in Pisces. For some of you all, your abuser was a Pisces. This is a very triggering reading. I was not expecting these messages to come through. If this makes you at all uncomfortable, please stop watching this video at this point. All I know is I'm trying to go in this conversation, in this reading where God has taken me. Somebody needs to hear this message. Somebody needs to take the mask off. Somebody needs to forgive themselves, and somebody needs to face the truth. It's an ugly truth, but it needs to be faced. Somebody turned this abuse inward, and they blame themselves. They tell themselves negative things. They hurt themselves. Somebody has turned inward the words that were said to them. You're trifling. You're this, you're that. You'll never be enough. You'll never be good enough. You're not beautiful. You're not handsome. You're too dark. You're too light. There's a lot of deception that you were forced to take in as a truth. Somebody feels disgrace for the way that they became after the abuse. Whether this is physical, whether this is emotional, whether this is sexual. Somebody is ashamed to look at themselves in the mirror, so they wear a mask. Things are going to be turning around for you. There's bright new prospects that are on the horizon. But first, someone has to come out of hiding. Wow. Let your intentions be known. I'm no longer the scared child that I used to be. I'm an adult ready to take action. For some of you all, you're ready to name your accusers. You are ready for justice. Justice will be served, whether on this earth or the next life. Justice will be served for the pain that you've gone through. Somebody's been through a lot of pain that they had to suppress. This is not an easy reading at all. To those that have experienced this pain, I'm so sorry that this has happened to you. There's a lot of sadness. Give me more messages, God. What more messages? What else do you want to pass on? What do you want to pass on? I just heard I am here. So to those of you that feel like there is nobody there, or there was never anybody that had your back, the message just came through as I am here. You are appreciated. You are loved. Your angels are wanting to say they love you. You are appreciated. You are beautiful. You are smart. You are strong. And you will get through this. This healing is not overnight. This healing is going to take a lot of patience. Give me the most important messages that need to come through for the sign of Virgo, please. Most important messages that need to come through for the sign of Virgo. Man, oh, that was heavy. Somebody needed those first messages that have come through. There's somebody that really needed these messages. Somebody has a very tough exterior. I'm getting strong masculine energy. Very tough exterior. Nobody would know what you've gone through. People around you would be shocked. Your messages are your money magnet. Basically, anything you touch is going to turn to gold. Let your spirit guide you. Okay? Let spirit guide you. There is some unfinished business. This situation needs to be discussed. This situation needs to be written out. This situation needs to be reported. This needs to come out. You have liberal. Some of you could have grown up in very conservative homes where you were different from the rest. You weren't able to live in your authenticity because of this. But this liberal card also indicates that you will be liberated. You will be free from whatever was trying to hold you back. For some of you, you have Gemini prominent in your chart. For others, a Gemini could have affected you in some way in your life. There is a King of Pentacles that is coming towards you. Whether this is masculine or feminine energy, there is a King of Pentacles. Somebody that's going to offer you security. Somebody that's going to offer you stability. Somebody that already has their life together. They just will be able to add to yours. Be very careful at this time. For those of you all, especially that are self-employed, it is important not to emotionally spend. For some of you all, this has become a blanket for your pain, and you use emotional spending as a way to deal with your problems. The more you do this, the more it's going to take away from you financially, the more it's going to take away from your healing. It's time to address this situation. You or your person can have medium left hair, and you have "You'll Always Be My Baby." Give me the most important messages that need to come through. What are the most important messages that need to come through for the sign of Virgo at this time, please? Give me everything they need to know. Overall, it's the Eight of Cups. Yeah, somebody needs to walk away from a situation. Somebody needs to let go of a situation. In order for you to be free, you have got to let go. This is your energy here. This is factors in your life that are affecting you as well. For some of you all, there is a mother figure, Queen of Pentacles in the reverse, that has had a very, very bad impact on your life. And we'll get into that in a minute. Bottom of the deck, you got the King of Cups there in the reverse. Somebody's tired of the deception. Somebody that was in your life could be a Scorpio, could be a Pisces, could be a Cancer. This was somebody that was emotionally manipulative. This was somebody, an authoritative figure that you trusted. with this King of Cups here in the reverse. But this was somebody that was very volatile, very angry. This person could be abusive either physically, emotionally. Unfortunately, for some of you all, this person used sex in order to control or manipulate or to hurt. This was a very malicious person that some of you all were dealing with. This is somebody that could have abandoned you in your life at some point with this Eight of Cups energy here. On your side, you have the Five of Pentacles. You have the Hierophant in the reverse, the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse, the Eight of Wands in the reverse, and the Chariot in the upright. Somebody was put out of their house. Somebody's mother or father chose their spouse, their abusive spouse, over you. You were forced to get out into this world and just try to make it. For some of you all, as a child, as a teenager, you were put out. For some of you all, going from foster home to foster home, or for some of you all, seriously, literally living on the streets. Somebody was on the outside. For somebody, life growing up was very tough. It was always cold. I'm getting the energy of it. Man, I'm trying to get through this reading without crying. I'm sorry. For somebody, it was always cold. The heat bill was never really paid. And it was just like everybody had to huddle next to the different heaters, the space heaters, to stay warm. There was always a lot of poverty. There was a lot of poverty. There was a lot of, I don't have it. We don't have it. Somebody made a choice to choose their spouse over their child. I keep seeing somebody's child being pushed to the side because somebody wanted to keep their man or their woman. Growing up, things was very restrictive. There wasn't enough food. There wasn't enough love. Somebody had to conform. This goes back to that whole thing of being in a conservative household where somebody was liberal, but they had to conform, do as I say, not as I do. This caused this disconnect. This caused this distance. There was a lot of loneliness. There was a lot of financial failure and such a huge disconnect from family, which has caused somebody here has been married or they got married, and this is how that generational curse keeps going, because they've married somebody that's manipulative, somebody that is volatile, somebody that is malicious. Somebody has married someone just like their mother or their father figure, their authority figure. Somebody wants to break this generational curse, and they will. Somebody wants to break this generational curse, and they will. Somebody wants to move away from trouble, conflict. There's somebody with a toxic family that keeps constantly trying to get you to stay in a marriage or a relationship that you're not happy in, because this is all they know. This is generational curse. This is a cycle over and over again. This is all that they know. They stay in unhappy marriages and relationships because that's all they know. So that's the only thing that they can pass on to you. Some of you all have a mother or father figure. I'm telling you, this is a Queen of Pentacles in the reverse and a King of Pentacles in the upright. This is a marriage. Two people literally hate each other. So much has happened in this marriage, and yet they want you to stay in a marriage that resembles the bitterness that these two have. You're being forced to move. It's too much to bear. Some of you all are being forced to move because you're being put out of your home during a time in which it is the cold season where you are. This temporary pain is going to end up being your blessing in disguise. You finally get away from somebody, something that's been holding you back for a very long time. Somebody needs to set up boundaries with their family. Somebody needs to set up boundaries with some type of friends or lovers or husband, wives, whatever the case may be. You need to set boundaries with this person. 7 of Wands. These people wasted the opportunities in their life, and they're comfortable with this, and they want you to be comfortable in this life as well. It's like, oh, well, you know, we've gotten older. You might as well just love the one you're with. That's not living. That's punishment. You know you are more than your environment. This goes right back to the other reading for the sign of Virgo. Somebody needs to leave what they're used to in order to know that there is so much more to life than pain and suffering. You've suffered enough. You've suffered enough. Some of you are so afraid of making the wrong choice that you stay or you return to conflict. You return to tension because this is all it is. Well, I've seen it growing up. This is how my parents are. This is how everybody around me is. So I just go back to what I'm familiar with. You're being told to leave. You're being told to find you. Find you in the middle of all the chaos. Somebody cries a lot at night when the rest of the world is sleeping. Selena. Somebody listens to Selena. Somebody listens to Selena. I believe she was a Mexican singer. She died way too young. She was murdered right at the peak of her career. I'm telling you, I don't know, somebody listens to Selena because it's very strong. I don't even speak her language, but I'm hearing songs in Spanish. So for someone here, you may be of Hispanic descent. Could be married to someone of Hispanic descent. This could be who you were in your past life. Someone of Hispanic descent. I'm hearing bien. Bien. So it's a yes. It's a yes, I guess, or good. I don't know, for somebody. You're needing to know that you are so much more than your environment. You are extraordinary. You're a peacock among pigeons. You were meant to stand out. There's a wild and impetuous and uniqueness about you that deserves to be honored. And it will be. But first, you have to understand that some things have to leave your life in order for you to start anew. You have the loss card. It says sometimes you learn true offering through loss. You make passionate invitations for love to take over and bring her own plan instead of the ego. You all, this is crazy how much this is literally mirroring your other reading. When you make divine intelligence your foundation, you finally have a fixed star to follow. You're being guided. Please take the steps that you're given. Oh man, somebody really needs to take the steps that you're given, okay? Please go towards the direction that you're being led to. It's not going to lead you astray. Okay, before I cry like freaking crazy. I'm going to close out this reading with a final message. Man, if y'all can see my face right now. Jeez, my goodness. What are your final messages? What are the final messages? Oh my God. Some of y'all, I'm telling you, there was a mother figure that was relentless. Somebody was abused a lot. Whether it's by words they were saying or their hands. I just keep seeing somebody with their hands and they just hit them for everything. You deserve sugar, not salt. I just got a message. You deserve sugar, not salt, because when you break this generational curse, you won't put this on your children. I truly hope that whoever needs this message gets this message, because my goodness. Oh, I don't have anything else to say, guys. I don't.